What's up guys, welcome back for another YgoPro duel video. Again, new TCG format and definitely one of the upcoming, well, one of the stronger decks going into our new TCG format is, well, I can't really call this a Lightsworn deck, right? It has some Lightsworn, like a small Lightsworn engine, Wolf, Raiden as well, Charge, Solar Recharge as well, but there's so many engines here in this deck. Zombie engine, the Shiranui, you know, Solitaire, Clownblade 2.0, well, you know what I mean, right? With one of Damage Juggler back. Headtrigger definitely has its uses, being like an Earth monster, a spellcaster type as well. Again, instantly fueling your, first of all, your, Curious, however you want to pronounce its TCG name. And of course, yeah, like rank 4 exceed as how Clownblade was a couple of years ago, you know, featuring Lavalva Chain, Shockmaster. But again, some similarities back then. 60 card build, I took JY Sharif's well, deck, like a skeleton build for that. Changed a couple of cards, but Gamma definitely should be in here. Monster Reborn is definitely debatable, but yeah, more testing needs to be done. So let's see a couple of example duels. Okay, first example, again playtesting against a couple of different decks, like Burning Abyss. This is OCG Burning Abyss because of Cherubini. Again, you know what I mean, the Burning Abyss Link Monster. Pendulum Magicians is in here as well, Invoked Artifacts, I believe, ABCs, Destrudo, so a lot of decks, right? And this time I'm going first, and again, with this deck you definitely want to go first. Something like a Gamma definitely protects you against like an opponent's Ash Blossom in case of Solar Recharge. I've seen a couple of different builds, you know, running like Recharge, not running Recharge, since this deck doesn't really run a lot of Lightsworns, right? So Solar Recharge might be dead most of the time. But the biggest difference between this topping build of YCS Prague a couple of weeks ago is, well, Curios for example, and Skulldeed. Skulldeed, man, access to Skulldeed and using its effect, you know, drawing 4 or only using 3 monsters and get a special summon effect off of that. That's so busted, right? Here in this case, eventually, you know, was able to keep like the Curios on my side of the field. Also go for like the Draco Serpent Skulldeed and the double Omega, and also keep Minerva on the field. This just showcases like this deck can do so many plays, right? Even though it's like a 60 card deck, a lot of engines, you have so many possible plays you can do. I believe the first example here features like, what is it called? The Noble Knight Link Monster over something like Mrs. Radiant. You can't put both of them in the extra deck, you know, both Mrs. Radiant and the Noble Knight Link Monster. Again, the extra deck is too tight for that. Both have their advantages, but again, I think I still prefer Mrs. Radiant over the Noble Knight Monster, since again, Mrs. Radiant is just more versatile compared to the Noble Knight Link Monster. But again, the Noble Knight Link Monster can, you know, net you a search, can potentially make like a Solar Recharge from your hand live, right? But again, that's up to you. Another example, get some lovely shenanigans, no Predaplant engine this time, but you know, Brilliant Fusion is always too good. Gold Sark also immediately tutors like an Earth monster, here in this case an Earth Dinosaur. Headtrigger, also an Earth spellcaster if I'm not mistaken, but again here the Predaplant engine coming in clutch. More monsters on the field, and Skulldeed is definitely an option here. Again, it depends on, you know, what you want to go for, but Curios definitely is the MVP. I'm not going to think twice, but definitely going to send Fairy Tail from my deck to the graveyard. Make Skulldeed with its full effect, drawing 4, immediately replenishing the hand, you know, give myself just more chances to draw into the hand traps. Only running like 6 hand traps, but again, Gamma might, you know, be like a main deck staple still. Very strong opening play, Skulldeed giving the monsters an extra attack boost, but again, having double Omega alive, sending back those Mizukis and tripping 2 cards from my opponent's hand, and backed up with a hand trap and Fairy Tail, right? Fairy Tail alone is so bonkers, especially against any Burning Abyss variant. Here, okay, a couple of special summons, you know, using, well, gaining more advantage off of the Fairy Tail with the Shiranui Spirit Master, with the Dinosaur And of course Sage's effect, but well, yeah, double Omega return, and now it's just a matter of time that I'm going to end the, well, duel, right? Just attack for a game, nothing to fear. Even Soul Charge in hand was not needed, only 9 cards in the deck. That already tells a lot, right? Another example against, let me double check, against, yeah, Pendulum Magicians, right? The opponent gets to start, and if Pendulum Magicians are able to start, that's definitely a problem. And yeah, you need all of those hand traps, right? Ghost Ogre was not enough, sadly. Maybe I should have kept the Ghost Ogre for the ElectricMudkip. Did I use it on the ElectricMudkip? Nope. Not really sure on which card I used the Ghost Ogre, but I think I should have kept it for ElectricMudkip. Always keep it for ElectricMudkip, right? But yeah, anyways, able to, you know, establish his board, get a lot of advantage out of the ElectricMudkip, etc. Double ElectricMudkip, you know what I mean, with Venom. But that's not really like a super insane board. Well, his board is not backed up with something like Norito or what is it called, that Vortex, Odd Eyes Vortex. So I can still do some stuff, but the Ash Blossom on the left arm offering definitely seals the deal. What is it called? Bagushka definitely was an out. Well, first attack over the ElectricMudkip and go for Bagushka, but well, he can just make board load eventually, and then, you know, what can I do afterwards? Another example against Invoked Artifacts, I believe. Not really sure if that particular deck runs like Kaiju or Wind Witches. But anyway, the first turn Kyrios again, man, that's so good. Definitely, well, I think this deck definitely, with you know, these two new Link monsters, both Kyrios and Skulldeed in their extra deck. That extra deck does need some work, right? With like the what is it called? The Archfiend, the Red Dragon Archfiend. Well, you know, I forgot its name, but you know, the guy that like destroys every special summon monster on the field and deals burn damage. That guy definitely should be in there. And yeah, depending on the format, if more people decide to play something like Masterpiece.deck, True Dracos, you might want to run Beals as well. But again, that's up to you, right? Here I should be able to end the duel. Only one back row. Not really that threatening. Maybe it's something like a strike or an artifact, right? Artifact side, moral tech. So go for Utopia, Raiden, more shenanigans. Try to end the duel, but you see that it's a scapegoat, I believe. Yep, indeed, a scapegoat. So it's not going to matter too much. I eventually go for Skulldeed to get a 4 draws, hopefully, you know, drawing into something like hand traps and get a special summoning effect off of Skulldeed. Well, that's how it goes, right? 2 run into Ash Blossom, but he only has 2 cards in hand, and I have 2 Omega. I don't need to explain this, right? The deck has so many plays, kind of strange, right? Even for a 60 card deck, that it has like so many possible combos and so many possible plays you can do. The standard Lone Fire into, you know, Predaplant into the regular, well, Kyrio shenanigans with a Brilliant Fusion, right? Also have the Solitaire in hand. Gold Sark is also at 2 in the deck. Not really sure if I want to main deck triple Gold Sark immunity, tutoring your Giant Rex, you know, the Earth Dinosaur being Earth type, and again giving you much well, easier access to Kyrios can definitely be helpful. Going for Minerva as well, and I believe I already used up 1 Omega, or make the first Omega here. Yep, that's the case. Soul Recharge is not a life card, so I'm going to sacrifice my first Omega here, ripping 1 card from my opponent's hand and make a second to get back a Mizuki, and I'm in a decent position, right? No hand trap, sadly, and Snipe, one of the field spells, although he has like the Destrudo as a follow-up player. I'm definitely going to keep the Fairy Tail for the Buster Dragon, since again, I believe you can use the face down ABC monsters for the fusion summon, so yeah, and it wouldn't make any sense, right? Just eventually, yeah, there is a Cleat for Genius as well, and there it is, the ABC Dragon Buster. Yeah, because maybe, you know, going for Fairy Tail, put the Destrudo face down, he can still suicide, right? So again, getting the C, special summoning the A, for example, make Buster Dragon, and rest is history. But again, this doesn't really matter too much. The Shiranui popping one of his face-up cards, and I think I have the 1000 blades in my graveyard, but it's not going to matter again. Just make sure you have enough monsters on board and do enough damage to attack for a game, right? Last example, again, the opponent got to start Pendulum Magicians again. Again, it's a very good start. I think I have to Ash Blossom the Foolish Burial, since again, Foolish Burial does tutor the Dark Worm indeed. You know, Dark Worm, again, special summoning itself to the field, giving you easily a second monster on the field to go for Electromite, and on top of that, Dark Worm will trigger to search, yeah, possible, like a low scale. So I think I had to Ash Blossom there, keeping the Ghost Ogre for Electromite, but he has more plays, but again, that's not really a threatening field. No Rito, no Vortex, so I can potentially, again, OTK depending on my mills with Curios and, you know, the regular Lightsworn slash zombie shenanigans, right? Here, back in the old school days, it was Lava Chain tutoring the Clownblade engine, either Trick Clown or, you know, 1000 blades, but Invoker can search out 1000 blades and need to be a little bit lucky here with Pot of Desires into pretty much any monster, right? Level 4 is always fine, since I can eventually, not really sure if I go for Skull Deed, I think so. Anyway, go for Michael, clear the way, right? Clear the path to eventually attack for a game. Yep, Skull Deed, get more monsters, get the special summoning effect, and then, you know, it's just establishing your board. I think I go for Omega, I go for, yeah, Utopia as well, but it's not going to matter again, just attack for a game. So again, you have so many plays. The deck is somewhat vulnerable to hand traps again, like an Ash Blossom on your Predaplant, Summon for example, but still, you have so many, well, so much shenanigans going in this particular deck. The main deck definitely needs work. Gamma, Monster Reborn, for example. Beals maybe, the Red Dragon. I'm not really sure about BLS. Cyclone maybe. Gozuki, also like an extra monster to, you know, fuel your Curios summon. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching, and feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.